I'm Tulip and I'm an ARO ACE artist.
Hello, I'm Oliver and I'm a trans guy who make videos about LGBTQIA+ people where they get to talk about anything that they want that somehow relates to them being queer. I'm currently traveling through Europe by train, and in Innsbruck, Austria, I'm with Tulip. We've been following each other online for some time now, and it was so nice to finally meet them in real life.
Okay, I'm Tulip, my pronouns are they, them. I live in Austria, but my family is from Bosnia. And I'm trans, non-binary and ARO ACE. And autistic and neurodivergent.
Tulip is ARO ACE, Aromantic and asexual, and this is how they realized that.
I realized that I was ARO ACE towards the end of my last romantic relationship. I thought that you have to do romance and follow it like it's in the books. And I literally followed it like it was in the books. And I think a huge part to that is that I'm autistic and I have to follow so many scripts, and people tell me, okay, you have to behave like this, and it's uncomfortable, but do it. And being in romantic relationships just felt like one more of those things. Little did I know that the things that are described are actually things that you feel, if you feel them, and I don't feel them. And towards the end of my last romantic relationship, I started seeing posts of Asexuality Day, and I was like, hey, I know nothing about asexuality. Let's be a good ally and look into it. And I got a book, and I was like, oh, that's me. And I also saw Aromantic in there, but I just couldn't understand, okay, what makes my relationship romantic and how can I be in it when I'm aromantic? Obviously, you can be in a romantic relationship while being aromantic, but I just didn't understand how. So I thought maybe I'm grey romantic. But then the relationship ended and I was like, I can breathe, I'm aromantic. And that's where my journey started.
And they continued to explore their feelings, and they still are.
I thought that non-partnering would fit who I am, but it felt too much non. And there's so much to discourse if you're aromantic or asexual. You are a person minus this, and you do not feel that. And I'm on my way to figuring out, well, what do I feel? I'm still a human. I still want connections. I still feel things. I just don't feel them how they're described. And trying to learn that being connected to people can be something nice. And just because I like to hug them doesn't mean I have to be in a romantic relationship with them now. So it doesn't have to feel unsafe to like people in my own way. And right now, I'm really proud of myself because recently I realized whatever I do and whatever I want to do doesn't make me less ARO ACE. I will always do things from my ARO ACE perspective. I will never feel comfortable in how romantic relationships, how I learned them and what I perceive to be romantic relationships. I suppose it's different for every person too, if they're not a romantic either. But it will always mean my own thing. And I'm realizing it's okay, nothing can invalidate me, I'm valid. I'm always enough. Yeah, and just finding my way. And if people ask me, how do you know what you're feeling is not romantic love? It's like, how on earth should I know? But I just do not relate at all to how it's described, and that's enough. Like, I don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Because it's sadly a reality that many people on the asexual and aromantic spectrum have to do a lot of explaining and also defend their own experiences, which can lead to some self-doubt.
For me now, I'm a bit over explaining to people that I exist and more in figuring out, like not telling people I'm not on the path that so many other people walk. I'm trying to figure out my own now and navigating a society that's very dominated by romance and sex as an ARO ACE person. It just takes time to figure out, to make space for myself. And I'm just glad that I now can feel more that I'm valid and that nothing can mean, oh, am I not actually ARO ACE? Like, it would be fine if I weren't, but it just doesn't feel true. Because usually it feels like when I tell people I'm ARO ACE, it's all about, okay, what is that even? And then describing to them something that I can't describe because I don't feel it. So I'm just excited to figure out where can I go? What do I feel, and how can relationships, and I mean any, not just romantic ones, look like?
Tulip makes the most wonderful art.
I make mostly digital art. I have an iPad and I like to draw in it. And I like to listen to audiobooks while I do that. And I mostly want to create art, first of all, to express and process things. It's like my safe space, and just giving feeling space too, because emotions are hard. And I specifically also want to create art, especially about being ROAs, that shows that there is joy. We deserve joy. We deserve to just enjoy a cup of tea and a good book. And we're people. We're just not just a term or just a lack of something. We're full people with full lives. And I just want to also show more the mundane things that I would also like to have. I would like to have more of the things my characters do in my art. But, well, I first draw them. I just want my art to be a comforting space for people where they can just feel like, yay, and feel like they're not alone. That's the most important thing for me, that they know they're not alone. And also when I post something about how I feel and then people tell me they relate to that, then I feel like, oh, I'm not alone with it either. That's so nice. I would really like my art to develop into a graphic novel so I can have the space of a full story, a full book to explore things, because, well, Instagram comics, it's a limited space what you can do with it.
But they don't only make digital art.
I like to make affirming stickers that are sometimes a bit more, are they subtle? I don't know, people sometimes say they're subtle, but they literally have the flag on there. It feels like they're subtle because no one knows what the ACE or ARO flag is. But yeah, I do like to make art that feels like, hey, I deserve cute things.
They also crochet these beautiful creatures called flooflets.
I'm making flooflets. And this is Fern and this is Clementine, and I gave them names because they're mine. But I do like to make floofs, and so many of my friends got some, and now everyone has their floofs, and it feels like I'm with them, and it's so cute to know that something comforting that I make comforts other people because I made it. It's so cute. I think that's such a healing experience with everything I do and create with my art, to just realize I made that and that's why it matters to people, or the way I say it is that they feel comforted, like, oh, it's so cute. And I also have a lot of art about cats. This is my cat and she's very cute and I really like bread. That's why we hug bread. And I like to mainly feature cats in my art and paws and things, but also generally in nature because I feel so connected to nature. And I also heard a lot that other ARO people are connected to nature too. It's also green, which would fit the ARO flag. I also like the calm and the peace that comes with drawing nature, and it can be really turbulent to face everything in this society as a queer person, and then just to draw things that are soothing and nice and just cute. That's what I like. And my characters, the ones that I have already drawn, are mostly aspec because my focus lied with that too, but they're also all trans and non-binary. And they're also animal and plant people so far, but I'm starting to draw people too, and I'm really impressed with myself. It's always scary to start something new. And I'm excited where it goes. Like, I feel like I opened a new chapter of things that I'm drawing now, and it's exciting.
They also have a specific set of colors that they usually work with.
I feel like all the cute imagery and all these soothing things and also softness I really like. I'm proud of being soft. Usually you're told, oh, you should be strong and things. Well, I'm strong, I'm brave, and soft. And I think that's also reflected in my color palette. I really like pastel colors. I'm now also learning I can use different colors too. Like, I can do both, but I really like greens. Oh, greens are amazing. And lavender. Also, just the colors I also wear. I like in my art. Like, I feel like I'm a reflection of my art, obviously, since I make it. And it's nice that the ACE flag is lavender. Well, when I draw it, it's lavender. And the ARO flag is green because I really like the colors, which is really neat. I also really like yellow. And I'm now venturing more into like exploring different colors, and I'm excited where that goes.
Lastly, Tulip has also found an ARO ACE community online which has helped them a lot. It's called Space, and it just happens to be located in Sweden, where I'm from.
Yeah, I feel like most of my friends I know via the ARO ACE community, and like it was the starting point for meeting so many people. And just when Anna started Space Malmö, it was literally that first meeting where I went to online and not knowing if I would belong there. And people talked about their experiences and I was like, oh, okay, I belong here. I finally belong to people. There's finally no one commenting how I'm insufficient in some way, but people just understand and I can just be there. And that's the main part of the ARO ACE community that I experienced, what Anna started there, and it's just so wonderful, and most of them have the floops. It's just so cute that like we became really friends and everything, and community is so important, and I feel especially when you're from a more unknown queer identity to just not feel completely alone, because there are a lot of parts about how queerness is represented that I still completely don't feel like I belong there, especially when there is so much focus on romance and sex. I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't I don't know how to contribute. So it's really nice that this space exists, and it's in Sweden and I'm in Austria, and I still feel like I'm there. So I hope I one day can go there.
If you're curious to know more about Space, I've actually made a video about them that you can watch up here. Bye for now. If you enjoyed watching that video, please like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I really appreciate you showing your love in that way. If you also want to support the channel financially, that's possible via Patreon, but really no pressure. See you next time!